Hey, I'm Dave Thomas III. I'm the author of my little book of truisms. You know, one of the realest feelings that you will ever experience in life, ever, is the feeling of confidence that you get through self-empowerment and ultimately self-belief. And this is something I had a hard time learning growing up. You know, when I was growing up, I was not the most confident person in the world, and it was funny because anytime that I felt my confidence welling up in me because of how I looked at myself and how I perceived myself, not how I depended on the perceptions of other people of me, but how I saw myself, then you know what? I was unstoppable. It was the funniest thing. When I studied karate for years, I could one night get out on the mat and I could be the most powerful force out there because in my mind, that's what I was. Other nights I can get out on the mat and I felt like I was the lowest ranking student there, or I was the least tactically proficient there, and that wasn't true. But it was all predicated on how I perceived myself. So what I would do sometimes to gain back my own sense of empowerment is I would change, even if for a moment, change the way that I saw who I really was. Because by me seeing who I really was, I would perform differently as opposed to if I saw myself as this person who was not who I really could be potentially. And that's where so many of us fall short of our goals because of how we perceive who we are, how we perceive how well or how badly we might be doing at something. It's all about self-perception. That's where it all starts with. Self-perception, self-love. Getting those things under control can lead to positive self-empowerment. How you see who you are will determine how well you perform. It all starts within us. It's a simple equation. It really is. It's a very simple equation. And that's something that I like to help my readers and help people who follow my posts on Facebook and things like that to understand that if you want to get anywhere in life, if you want to achieve anything, stop looking around at the people who are in your immediate vicinity or looking at the success and the achievements of others that you might see in the media or whatever and focusing on that. Even though those things can be inspirational, but they can also be damaging because a lot of times what that means is we're looking around to be validated by external forces or other individuals besides yourself. The validation, the self-empowerment, and your sense of drive is powered up by how first you look at yourself. And then every time that you have an achievement, every time that you reach your goal, those things are real. They're real. And that's what you build on. That's where your foundation is, right there. That's your one plateau that leads to the next higher plateau and the next higher plateau and the next higher plateau. Because once you put your hands on those things, that's like gaining the prize. Then it's not theoretical anymore. It's actual and it's tangible. So I want to leave that with you today before I head on out here and take care of some errands. That remember, believe in yourself. Self-perception leads to self-empowerment. Self-empowerment ramps up your drive, and your drive gives you the achievements, all right? Again, my name is Dave Thomas III. I'm the author of my little book of truisms, and this has been your moment of truth for today.